it's Amy Green with Amy and Art Designs. I'm so excited to be here at the Craftable party. Denise is absolutely one of my favorite people in the whole world. So I'm so excited that I got invited to craft with her today and to craft with all of you. So I'm going to be crafting with one of the teapot printables. Come on in and say hi, guys, and let me know so far. What I'd love to know is if you're new to Denise or if you I totally lost my train of thought. If you're sign, I kind of debated over what to do, but I do a lot of smaller tier tray type stuff. Oh, we have a lot of Christina says she's new to Denise. Stephanie, I know Stephanie. Let's see. Let's say hi and we'll get started. So Juanita, hey Juanita, Dixie, Barbara, hey girl. Hi Tammy, thank you for the sprinkles. Sarah says bad storm in Kentucky. Girl, we're going to talk about the weather today. You couldn't find the last girl. So Denise will have all the replays linked, guys. Stephanie says hi. Hey girl, how are you? Christina, she's new to Denise. Sharon met Denise at Jingle and Mingle. Awesome. Lori knows Denise. Barbara knows Denise. Oh, look, Jennifer's new to Denise. Hi, Marla. All right, guys. Awesome. Hey, Elaine. Yes, girl. We are, Elaine and I, she is a Amy and Art community family member for sure. All right. So we are going to do, I'm going to go over here. So I'm going to use, every time that you drop a comment, you're going to be, because I'm going to draw 3 names at the end. So every time you drop a comment, your name is going to go into that little spinner, and you'll be one of the names. I'm going to draw 3 names at the end, like everyone else has. We're going to add this. We're going to get the camera up. Hi, guys. Hi, Diana. Oh, thank you. So what we're going to do today, I'm going to show you guys a couple of things. This is, so I know that Amy from Amy Sews did the teapot also, but I want to do tea because in my club this month, we are doing a teapot. I have something called the Joyful Crafting Club, and we are doing the teapots. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to show them the teapots. So this is not Denise's printable with all the paint marks on it. Let me show you the full size one that I started with. So this is, look how pretty this is. It's got your fancy Chinaware. Tell me in the comments, do you love fancy China? I do. Like, I collect vintage China. I love vintage China. So this is what it looked like when I printed it off. And I'll show you what I did. I'm going to walk you through my thought process, show you how I came up with what I came up with. So then I took another page, and what I do when I'm choosing a paint color, because I do a lot of painting, to go with a printable, right? In my mind, I have a color that I think is going to match really well. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to use that color. And then what I started with is I wanted to use like a light blue because of this pretty light blue around the border. And when I added this to the edge, it was really the wrong tone of blue. And I knew that even if I added some white in there and lightened it up, it would still kind of feel off. So so you can tell I started pulling, and you guys, this is a very fancy method because I stick my finger in the paint and I rub it on the printable. I've done this in Hobby Lobby. Don't judge, guys, but I do. This is how I choose my colors to go with my printables. And so I took a bunch of different colors. You guys can see. You can't see the color I'm going to use because it blends perfectly, and that's what I was going for. And it's actually right here. You can barely see it. And it actually ended up being ivory white is what I decided to go with because it's going to look really nice and seamless. And what I'm going for is when I'm done and this is hanging up in my house, I want someone to think I bought it at the store, and we are going to do it. Okay. Who's ready? Drop a number 1 in the comments if you are ready to make it look like you bought it from the store. No, because that's what we can do. We can do it. So I'm going to show you a couple different surfaces that you can use, but I'm going to use this wood block, and I'll give you my reasoning for that. I do love these chunky canvases. They're fun. They sit on their own, but I think getting a really nice clean edge on these is harder to make it look like you bought it at the store. But we are going to make it look like we bought it at the store with this 4x4 wood cutout. And this is not a cutout. This is a 4x4 wood Dixie Brown. I know you know what this is called, but it's like a 4x4 wood thing from Amazon. And what I like about it, if you're going to go find them, the edges are really nice and clean. I gave it a nice sanding. You can usually tell the ones that are better assembled because they have the mitered corners. Okay, so if you're going for, it's still going to look rustic, but I just find that the overall finish, it's squared up nicer if you have mitered corners. It's not a frame. It's like a wood plaque. Is it a wood plaque? I see a lot of ones. We're ready to make this look like we bought it from the store. Okay, so is it a wood canvas, Marla? Maybe. A shadow. I don't know if it's a shadow box. I know on Amazon I can find it because I go either to my Amazon store or I search it in my orders. But everybody's ready to make it. We're going to make this look like we bought it from the store. Okay, so I've got my ivory white. If you missed how I chose my ivory white, guys, go back and watch the replay because I showed you exactly how I did it, okay? Woo. So I'm just going to put some of this out there. Plaque. Plaque is probably it. A wood canvas. Okay. The first thing we're going to do is we're just going to paint the edges, okay? And sometimes it's going to take a couple coats, especially with a white. Folk art is really nice, creamy. You get good coverage, but sometimes you've got to do it twice. It just depends. And this is not complicated, guys. Anyone can do this. This is simple, but it's beautiful. I have one that we did with a smaller printable. Does anyone remember the spring printable? I know we crafted it forward facing, but it had like a little saying about spring on the front. And this is the truth. It's hanging. It's in my family room right now. And I looked over at it the other day. I thought, well, that's really pretty. I wonder where I bought that. And I was like, oh, I made that. I'm like, girl, but we made it look like we bought it from the store. So that's what we're going to do. Here we go. All right. So I just want the edges to be nice and covered. If you're not used to working with acrylic paint, guys, you really do want it to dry before you put another coat on. This is just a makeup sponge. And it's going to put a nice coat on there. And then we'll put another coat. And we're just going to dry this. Yeah. So Dixie says, you crack me up. And Amelia says, you love when we surprise ourselves. I know. I was like, oh, I made that. Hi, Kathy from Iowa. Marla says she's still working on her Jingle and Mingle project. I feel like I need to go into the Jingle and Mingle group and do another finger bow tutorial, right? I think that didn't give you guys a good enough finger bow tutorial. Okay. So, let's talk a little bit while we're doing this stuff. We're just this is dry to the touch, so I'm safe to put another coat on, okay? So you guys know that we're all here because Denise makes these amazing printables. She's my seat buddy. When we go to Mastermind, we're in the same group. And this is a true story. When I first joined, Denise, if you're watching, I'm going to tell the story. When we were both new at the same time, but like I was a whole lot newer to the online crafting space than Denise. I walk in the room, I'm like, oh my gosh, like there's Denise. And so I go in and I sit down and and she was already sitting, and there was like a space next to me. Well, some other people came in as like they were friends that were traveling together, and they asked Denise to scoot down. And so she scooted down and sat next to me. And not that we didn't sit next to each other for any reason in the beginning. I was really sitting at the easiest space to get out of the room if I needed to leave. That was my strategy. Like, if I've got to get out of this room, I've got to be an easy exit. Like, if I want coffee, if I just can't stand sitting anymore. Okay, guys, I'm going to switch gears on here. I'm just kind of going around the edges here with a little bit of paint. And I am, just for fun, going to put a light coat of white on the front because it's a light printable. And I just want to make sure that no wood comes. No wood shows through. So that's how Denise and I got to be seat buddies. And so we have a lot of fun together. And she's really one of the most unique and creative people I know. And I had the honor of going in her group and crafting in her mixed media group. I came in with my acrylic paints and wood, and they're like used to like open-ended. I'm like, oh no, we're gonna paint like in the lines. They were so lovely. We had so much fun. But really, she puts together beautiful, beautiful printables, guys. And so if you want to be able to add some beautiful printables to your home for very, very, like, we're talking like 3 cups of coffee a month, what you would pay for 3 cups of coffee, or 3, who drinks kombucha? Do I have any kombucha drinkers? If you drink kombucha, 3 kombuchas now, right? Like, and you can get these every month, and she shares how to craft with them on her page, and they're gorgeous. Very unique style. And so it's just a really, really amazing thing. It's $12 a month. So I know I've got a link up in the description, so you can check that out. Cheryl says she makes kombucha at home. I tried. Okay, that was a small disaster. I mean, it was undrinkable. It was probably more in the adult beverage category when I got done with it. And it smelled really bad. So I don't make my own booch anymore. I failed at that so many times. So yeah, her printables are gorgeous. And so if you, and I know Denise said she would drop, there you go. There's a link if you want to go and grab that. I mean, she's just, you won't regret it. And it's, like I said, her unique style is just, you're not going to find it anywhere else. Denise is so uniquely Denise. Okay, so I've got a nice white on my edges. Okay. And the next thing I'm going to do is, my printable is pretty close. I took the 8x8 because it was an 8x8, and I printed it at 60% to get a 4x4. My husband and I had a conversation over lunch. I'm like, if I take that 8x8 and I reduce it by 50%, I was like, I know I'm going to get a 4x4. He's like, yeah, no, you're not. And I'm like, yeah, I am. I'm going to get a 4x4. And he's like, no, I know you're not going to. He's like, I wish I wasn't right, but I know I'm right. Well, I reduced it by 50%. I did not get a 4x4. So you get smaller than a 4x4. So I printed it at 60%, and it came out really nice. Okay, I'm sure you guys have seen this before if you're a printable crafter, but if not, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. This is, you get it the way that you want it to look. This is the Lazy Crafter's way. You can get it on there straight. I like to draw, like, fold over on the bottom. And then if it's straight on the bottom, it's going to be straight everywhere else. Okay. So it's just, this is just enough bigger. Those are not the right words. Big enough, larger than, it's a little bigger than a 4x4. So you have some overhang and it's really nice. And you're still going to have your design. But just look at this. So the digital print is, her digital printable is a little more purple-ish blue than like this blue. But whenever you take a digital print and print it onto a laser printer, your colors are going to be slightly different. So I'm going to cut just right outside where I folded it. So yeah, guys, her club's totally worth it. Seeing the other projects have just been stunning. I mean, and you get the printables, right? And like, let's talk about this. But she already has thought about all the ways you can use them. Okay, this is how it's going to go on here, right? Reach it just a little bit. Okay. Maybe just a little more. Okay, we're good. Okay, now I'm going to take my Mod Podge and put it right on here. I know Denise uses something that you guys have told me over and over is so much better than Mod Podge. Let me just, how pretty is this? Isn't that cute? I ordered all new tumblers. This is a total, I'm going down a rabbit trail. Okay, why I'm Mod Podging. So we're just going to rub this across. Nice even coats. Make sure you get the edges really well. Okay, that's where it's going to come up. Okay, so you guys, like, we organized our tumblers. I bought those tumbler cabinet organizers. And I got, our tumblers were so old. I'm talking like 8 years old. I mean, we got our money's worth out of those babies. So I ordered a bunch of new ones, and I got some very girly ones. I did think about my husband, and I got some black and green, but I got some really pretty ones. Okay. So Ella Jean says she can adopt Denise's crafting to use what you have in your craft room. Yes. The other thing I was saying about when you think about her printable club. So one of the things I hear from you guys over and over and over is, I'm going to let this dry, is that like, you love to craft, but sometimes coming up with a how-to is the tricky part. Well, for $12 a month, you get amazing set of printables, right? It's like a $40 value. You pay $12. But she also shares ways to craft with them. And just think about like that, because that is really the invaluable piece. She says, look what you can do with this. I mean, and that's worth, if you had someone to say, hey, take this and use this, take this and use this, and then you can display it in your home, right? I mean, that's worth way more than $40. Tammy says she has no more room in her cupboard for any more cups. We bought that kind that you put them in on the round, like on the side, and they stack. And then I bought the lid holder. Okay, so I'm going to let this dry. And before I add my printable, I'm going to put some decor wax on the outside. I have my decor wax out. All right, friends. Talk amongst yourselves. But I just had it out. Well, we might have to go to plan B. We'll use some paint. You guys love when that happens. You're like, I know I had everything out that I needed. And then something, I'm just looking. We're going to use some brown paint. Let's use burnt umber. Oh, I know exactly where it is. 2 shakes. I'll be right back. I'm coming. I was making up some supply lists, and when I make my supply list, I carry all of my stuff. I almost fell. I carry all of my stuff out to the computer so I don't forget anything. Okay, this is decor wax. I'm going to put some on the edges first, and then we'll come back with it again. If you've never seen this before, it's a folk art product, and it's just a distressing agent. There's other ways you can use it. I do not use it how it's instructed to be used. I just kind of use it as a distressing agent. So I'm going to take this makeup sponge I used on the white. I'm going to cut it in half, and then I'm going to cut the end off, and I'm going to reuse my makeup sponge because we are thrifty around here, friends. Okay, so I have my cut printable off to the side. My Mod Podge is on, and now I just want to, I'm going to distress it a little bit before. Where are my baby wipes? I'm going to wipe it off. I just don't want it. Can you see? It's just looking a little older. I just don't want to get my printable wet before I seal it. These wood squares are great. They're not, I don't know. I want to say that I bought them in a bulk package and I might have paid for $4 each, right? Once you averaged it out. I can't remember exactly. They're not, Diane says she missed it. What's the name of the distressing agent? It's called Decor, D-E-C-O-R, Wax, W-A-X. By Folk Art, Diane. So I've just got my fingers in the back of this, and I'm putting it on, and then I'm wiping it off with my baby wipe because I kind of want the whole thing to look a little aged. And I don't want to get my printable wet, but do you see how it's all like a little aged now? Yes, it's looking good. Yes, a little goes a long way. That little bottle will last you a long time. So once this is dry, before I add my, well, don't do that. That was dirty. That was dirty sandpaper. You guys know I'm always telling you throw it out. I couldn't do that. Okay, so I'm just going to go over this a little bit with sandpaper to just soften it up a little bit and make it look a little more integrated. Yeah, this is 320 grit. Thank you, Juanita. And Carolyn, yes, I throw them out. I don't wash them. They're not, there's no way you could reuse them. Okay. I'm just wiping this off. I bought I bought more tack cloths, and tack cloth is like something you use to clean it up, your paint dust. And then I had one of my kids unpack them and put them in the container for me, and I just am not sure where he put the container. Y'all, if you're looking for like what you will find, Shelly says she loves my videos. It's all very authentic and real. There's no perfect around here. In fact, I say like perfect people are not allowed because you're gonna make me look bad, right? Okay, I'm just going over that. I know that was my Mod Podge, but it was a little rough, and I want my printable to go on nice and smooth. So there you go. We've got this. I'm gonna clean my area up just a little bit. Right on the floor. We'll get out with a vacuum cleaner. Yeah, Angela's saying tack cloth, question mark. I'm going to come right back to that as soon as I iron this on. Okay, so preferably with clean hands, because paper does what paper does, right, friends? Like if you take something dirty and touch your paper before you seal it, it's going to pick up that dirt. So Angela says, what's a tack cloth? A tack cloth is really used by woodworkers, people who do a lot of sanding, but it's kind of like cheesecloth, if you know, and it's kind of dipped and coated in wax. And the great thing about it is when you sand, you can wipe your wood off, you can wipe your surfaces off, and then you can go back with that tack cloth and clean it right up. I just don't know where he put the container. I'm going to have to ask him. So this is, thank you for the sprinkles. So yeah, it's great. And so you can buy one and you can just get one at like Walmart or I'm looking for my parchment paper. Walmart or, Home Depot or Lowe's. Like I buy them in bulk on Amazon. I'll buy like 10 or 12, but they're big. And so if you're refinishing like a dresser or a hutch, you'd want that really big tack cloth, right? But for a small piece, a small crafting piece that you're going to sand a little bit and you want to get that paint dust off before you move on to the next step. Because if you don't, you just paint that dust right in, or if you seal that dust right in, and then you don't get that nice finish. But the tack cloth will clean it up. But I cut them into small pieces. So one tack cloth that you can get for $2 at Walmart or the Dollar Tree will last you, months. I probably only have to buy them once a year, and I buy like 12 at a time, and I do a lot of crafting. So you could buy one and it'll last a long time. Hey, Lynn. Yes, I see you. Lynn is over on YouTube. She's joining us on YouTube. You can't see it over on YouTube because everybody else is on Facebook, but I love my YouTube viewers. Thank you so much for being with us. Okay, let's talk about when we iron this on. If you've never ironed it on, welcome, Rhonda. She says it's her first time. If you've never ironed it on, you want to get it the way you want it to go. And then if you're feeling really nervous, I'll show you the easy way because I trimmed this pretty short, so it'd be hard to tape the edges down. But I like to hold my finger. You want to make sure that your craft iron is hot. It was on. Give it just a second to heat up because it automatically turned off. You want to hold your finger down, hold your printable in place, and then you want to put your parchment paper on top with another finger, okay? And then put this back on top, your other finger on top, remove this finger, and then come back down and hold it. And then your printable is going to stay put. If you lift your finger up when you put the parchment down, you can kind of make your printable move just from the movement of the parchment paper. And then when you go to iron it on, your design is going to be a little off. Ella said, did I glue the front? I put Mod Podge on the front. So we're going to iron it on. Thank you, Carolyn and Kim, for the sprinkles. Thank you. Thank you. Lisa Lee says she is in love with the printables. Lisa, I'm so glad to see you here, girl. And yes, I am too. I knew that this had to be the one I did. So we're a little tangled. Okay, friends. Okay, so this, I kind of start in the middle. Okay, I don't kind of, I always start in the middle. Tracy said she did this for the first time the other day. Tracy, I cannot believe you didn't know about this. Tracy is an amazing crafter. I'm surprised you didn't invent the method. She's such a great crafter. Very good painter. So I'm just going slowly. And if Pam Laird is here, she gifted me this amazing craft iron. And she also gifted a few to our community. That was last year. And so I got to share those with the community. It was so fun. Okay, so you just want to make sure that it's nice and sealed. Okay. So when I'm done with this, I'm going to come back and I'm going to see, I didn't get it on the edge. So I'll show you how I'm going to fix it. Okay, we have some questions about the iron. So this is very fancy. I'm going to take my finger. Okay. I'm going to push it down. What temp? I don't know. It has like an on button and a couple buttons, a couple lights. I just turn it on once. This is not like if you're used to doing like vinyl. It's not like that. It just goes. And I'm going to just iron this to dry it. So the ironing method only works on like flat surfaces, really, because you have to be able to press it, right? I mean, it would be really tricky on a jar. Correct. There's no steam to this, Cinda. This is just a craft iron. I don't know. Yeah. I love this one. It also, the reason I love it is it comes with this little, like trivet. So I had another one and it didn't have a trivet and it worked really well and I loved it, but I would burn myself on lives. And so that's when, I think that's when Pam, I was complaining about it and she sent me one and I just love it. So yeah, let's check our edges now. So yeah, my edges are feeling pretty good. And that's what I want because I don't want my edges to peel up. Okay. I'm just going to hit them one more time. So we see Christina says she uses the low setting on her Cricut mini press. Carolyn has the Cricut mini press. Yeah, I think it is between, depending, like $16 and $20 on Amazon. It says you can do vinyl, and I remember in the instructions that it told you, you know, what you would need to do to use it with vinyl. I do not use it with vinyl because I have a clamshell heat press. If I'm going to do t-shirts. Joe, if you're watching, he's laughing. He bought me, my husband, he bought me like a clamshell heat press and wanted to do tumblers and hats and it'll do all of the things. And I've made like 5 t-shirts, but I have one if I ever get the urge. Okay, this is much better. Linda says she's saving it so she can watch it later. Oh, I love that. Yay, come back. We have lots of fun tips here. So now I'm going to take this and I've got a clean piece of 320 grit sandpaper. You guys, you're sanding blocks. If you've sanded wood and then you come onto your really nice, beautiful printable and you go on the edge, you're going to take that paint dust and rub it all over here and it's going to look not beautiful. So I have a very clean piece and I'm just going to go at a 45-degree angle, right? The reason I don't want to go across my printable is because it's going to remove the print, right? So look how pretty this is looking already. I mean, it's just lovely. It's very lovely. All right. So depending on how thick your paper is, you know, this process takes a little more time. If you've got thicker paper, cardstock, you might want to up your grit. So 320, the bigger the number, the finer the sandpaper. So 320 is super fine. And the reason I like that is because I'm not trying to do heavy duty work here. I'm just trying to take off a layer of paint to make my project smooth. But if you're sanding cardstock, you might go for 220, right? So, okay. Let's have one more edge. And this just gets your edges like really nice and clean. And that is what we want. So tell me in the comments if you have used that distressing ink. It's like on an ink pad, right? I feel like I used it a long time ago when I was maybe in my 20s and did I'm going to move this and clean this up. Now, this does make quite a mess, the sanding the paper. There's little flakes everywhere. I feel like I tried that in my 20s. So I have not bought, I keep saying I'm going to buy it. So I'm going to use my decor wax to distress this. I just break down my old cardboard boxes and I use those to paint on. So now we're going to go around the edge with this, and I'm going to go super light hand, because once it's on there, you can't take it off. It's paper. And the other thing about the decor wax, like we said, is a little goes a long way. Okay. I'm going to come in a little more at the corners, and you can definitely like knock the extra off if you want, so that you don't go in with too much. But I just want to make it look a little old. Yeah, and you can do the same thing that I'm doing here. Now, I don't know. I've never used it with wood, so I was wondering. Or over acrylic paint. I don't know how well it does over acrylic paint. But I'm going to go in a little more at the edges. The Distressing by Ranger. Yep, Gail. This is just a shipping label. I learned this from my friend, and she said if you save your shipping labels, you can use them to paint on. So sometimes if I'm just using like one color, or you know, or a couple colors, I'll do that. I don't have to wash my paint pot. So Marla says, I think what she's saying is that the Ranger Distress ink works really well on paint. So that is a good to know. And those of you guys who craft with me regularly, you know, around this time, Nady, my oldest, gets out of school and he calls me every day at 3:06. And so I texted him right before I went live, and I said, sweetie, remember mommy has a live, and so you can't call me today at 3:06. If it's a lot of times I just answer the phone on my watch and talk to him for a minute while I'm live. He's my oldest, and he has autism, and so he likes to talk to me. When he gets off school, he likes that routine of checking in with me. But I told him today, buddy, I just like can't. And then I put my phone on silent. I said, Daddy's going to get you from the bus. And so I hear him upstairs now. So I'm surprised he hasn't come down and said hi. Okay. This is looking really good. I like this. And this is just going to have to be like, you can eyeball it. And here's what I'll tell you. If you've never done this before, the first time you're going to be really nervous. And then you're going to do it and you're going to realize like, oh, hey, wait, like this is really kind of fun and I like it. And then you're going to, you know, start doing a little more with it. But see how pretty that looks? It's really, really pretty. It's very pretty. And look how nice our edges look too. So now before we seal it, because sealing it's going to be my final step. Well, no, it's not my final step. I've got a little bit more planned. We're going to make this into a hanging sign. So I'm just going to go around my edges where maybe it looks a little messy. And I'm going to just clean it up a little bit. Okay, guys? You guys, this is really a quick craft. I'm talking and reading comments and, you know, interacting. So it's taken me, you know, longer, but you could sit down and do this in 20 minutes and have something to display in your home. You could print off one of Denise's printables, write this down, her 8x8 printables. If you print them at 60%, you're going to get you can use them on a 4x4. Okay. Write that down because that's important, because you won't have to print 30 test sheets, because I already did that for you. But if you print her 8x8s, you can get a 4x4 and you can make one of these. And you guys, I really encourage you to give her her digital print clubhouse a try. Okay, so that's looking how I want it to look. So I'm going to wipe it off. Thank you, Juanita. Tracy says it's a fast gift idea. Yes. This little hanging sign with a matching tea towel and a candle, or this, even just this little sign with a matching tea towel and a candle and a basket. Tracy. Yes. That is like the perfect little hostess gift. Okay. So now I'm going to take this product called DuraClear. If you're new to DuraClear, guys, yeah, get those tea towels at Hobby Lobby when they go on clearance. Like right now, I'm sure the Easter tea towels are like, they had some cute ones, like 70% off or something, 60% off. They're probably $2. We need to do that. Like that's what I need to do, a project like that and show you guys how I would do it. I'm sure you guys can figure out how to put together a basket, but that is a really good idea for one of like the Monday crafting sessions. Okay, so this is called DuraClear. This is a varnish. It's a polyurethane. And I like this for a lot of reasons. One, it's not like tacky, like Mod Podge. When you seal something, it can take a long time to dry. The other reason I like it is because it puts this a beautiful finish on your projects. Okay, number 3. Guys, this is my favorite reason for using it on an iron-on printable project that I want to look like I bought it from the store. Okay, when you seal this with Mod Podge, it could bubble up, right? So it can bubble up, and then getting it back down flat is going to be really tricky because you can't really go back and iron on top of it, because when you iron, you're going to activate the Mod Podge and your parchment's going to stick to your printable, okay? But if it bubbles when you seal it with your DuraClear, and if you stuck around this long, you are going to be so glad you did, because you can just put your parchment on and pop that craft iron up and down like that, and it's going to be perfectly flat. And then you're going to make it and hang it up, and you're going to do it like I did. You're going to, oh, that's really pretty. Wonder where I bought that from. And be like, oh, I made that. That is what happens. It just looks so beautiful. So I'm just going to put some out here with your DuraClear. I like to put it on with a makeup sponge because then you don't have brush strokes. It dries very quickly. I'm going to do my edges first, and then I'm going to do my printable, okay? So I'm going to go down the edges, and you can put multiple coats on, guys. Don't be afraid to like let it dry and do multiple coats. And it does dry really quickly. And it doesn't smell. If you've ever done any woodworking and you've used a product like a Minwax polyurethane, it is a very strong smell. Sorry, I'm trying to stay on the screen. Now, this does not have a strong smell. So I've got this on my sponge, not a ton. I'm going to go across. All right. And I'm holding it because the edges are wet and I don't want it to stick. But look, I just want you to look now. Can you see? It's kind of hard to see in the camera, but it makes the colors pop. And you can see them change as you go over it. It just adds this gorgeous dimension that, I mean, every time I use it, I'm just like, oh my gosh. I found this stuff at Pop Shelf on vacation. Okay, so I have some bubbles, which is happy because I can show you guys how I'm going to fix it. Sandra says it's her first time. Welcome. So you don't have to do this because it will dry very quickly, but it's 3:44. Miss Tracy's on at 4, and I want to make sure I finish in time. And I want to draw our names. Ella Jean says, if I give a gift, do I put my signature on it? No. Like, people in my normal life don't even know what I do. They're like, my family doesn't. I'm not even sure they know what I do. My kids, but like my mom and my sisters, I'm not sure anyone pays enough attention to know that I even. They're like, what does she do? Like, she like goes in the basement and like makes wood shapes and like cuts them out. Like, I don't think they pay any attention. Okay. At all. Okay. So this is what really takes your whole project up a notch. Okay. Hi, Debbie. Okay. I'm glad you're here, girl. Christina wants to know how we watched the rest of the crafters. So let me show you how to do this. And then, so Miss Tracy's next. And if you missed this morning, all you have to do is, I'm pretty sure Denise is going to do a link up on her page. Denise, if you're watching, will you let me know if that's what you're going to do? Okay, so now I'm going to put this over. My DuraClear is dry. Now watch. Let me see if I can show you the bubbles. They're hard to see on the screen because they're very slight, but I can feel I've got one right here. Can I turn it so you can see it? I've got them like right here. Okay. Oh. Okay. So ready? Pop, pop, pop. And this is it. It doesn't stick. Just pop that up and down. Now don't hold it on for a long time. We're not gonna like play chicken with it or anything, but we're just gonna do this. Helen says she's having a great Craftable day. Oh, love it. So am I. I'm so happy I got invited to the party. So there you go. And see right there. It's super flat. It's beautiful. Now I could put another coat of Duraclear on this. If I was going to gift it, I would probably go ahead and put a second coat on. Let me do that. We've got 10 minutes. We have 10 minutes. Let's just do it. I'll show you guys how I do it. You can go, okay, Denise says you can go to Crafty DIYer. You guys, if you're not following Denise, please make sure you go over to her page and give her a follow. She shares her crafting tips on her page every week. She crafts live, so make sure that you go give her a follow if you're not following her. And she will be posting links to everybody's, so you can go watch everything, okay? And I'm sure that the rest of us will too, but we'll probably let her do the heavy lifting of compiling it for us, and then we'll just copy and paste. All right, so I'm just checking for drips, and I don't have any. You do not want drips with the Duraclear, because when you put it on like this, it dries beautifully clear, okay? But if you have the drips, it's like thick and gummy. And so look how beautiful this is. So we could stop here, and I'm really tempted to, but I wanted to make this into a hanging sign, okay? And I have this really pretty ribbon, and it just matches beautifully. It's a very, see how pretty that is? So I have this little hanging sign I want to use. I like to take little signs and do unexpected things with them. Put them in a tray. You can hang them. You know, you can put them on a riser. I mean, this would look really pretty on a riser. But I like to, instead of like measuring, right, I just kind of like to put it on the sign and think, okay, about where do I want it to hang? And then I'm just going to take my, you guys, this is left over from the Nerdy Bunnies. So it was the perfect color. Yeah, because I'm going to glue it in the corners. Okay, so I'm going to cut it about here. So Shelly says, so you guys, there is a bonus pack, and you can join the club through the 7th. Don't wait that long. They just do it today. I mean, let's just, how many of you guys are like the put it in the cart and then wait, and then you're like, you wake up the next morning, it's on sale and it is in your cart? How many, you guys, put a 1 if you can relate to this. It's on sale, you put it in your cart. Okay, I'm going to glue it on the corners. Okay, I don't want to turn it all the way upside down because it's just a little tacky, but I'm going to kind of scrunch it, and then I'm going to glue it. Okay, so you guys, how many can relate? It's on sale. You put it in your cart. You're going to buy that. You are going to buy it. It's on sale. You go to bed. You don't buy it. And you wake up the next day, and over coffee or tea or whatever it is you drink, you say, oh, darn, I didn't buy it. And you rush to your phone and you open your phone to see, like, is it still on sale? And you're like, oh no, it's not on sale. Or you know something's running low in stock. Come on, guys. I see you guys are being honest. And you're like, oh, I really want that. And you put it in your cart. And then you don't press checkout because you think, well, I want to look around some more, or the kids call, or your mom calls, or, you know, the dog barks, who knows, and you don't buy it. And then the next day you go back and look and you're like, oh no, it's all gone. It's sold out. Okay. Do not do that. Like, don't do that. Just like go do the deal, do the thing, get the beautiful printables. You get 5 packs in a bonus pack. And Dixie says, yes, it's sold out. Tiered tray kits. Yes. Dixie, I was talking about myself, but I know you did it. I know. Okay, so I'm just going to hold this here. See, I love how this ribbon's looking. Super cute. And now I'm going to hold it here. I'm going to pick this up, put my glue on. And then I mean, you could add a bow, but I don't know. The printable itself is enough. I didn't really think we needed a bow. But yeah, so like just do it. Like you can cancel at any time now that you're going to want to, but you're not making a long-term commitment. Get the printables, go make yourself something beautiful, make some hostess gifts, get ahead for Christmas, right? I've heard so many people say like, this would be great for such and so, or this would look so pretty in such and so's house, you know? Kathleen says, can you staple it on? Yeah, you could staple this on. This is a very sheer gossamer ribbon, Gail. So I would be hesitant to staple it because you probably would want to fold it several times. I'm not selling this. If I was gifting it, I would probably roll it over several times, and I might cover up this part, but it doesn't really look bad at all. Okay, so I'm just going to hang this up here, and then we'll take the overhead camera off. Y'all, we have a few minutes left before it's Miss Tracy's turn. Okay, I'm not happy with my ribbon on the one side now that it's hanging, so I'm going to fix it while we're talking. Does anyone have any questions? Did you miss something? If you're in Denise's club already, I've seen some of you guys tell us. If you're not, let me know. But for $12, guys, you can add these gorgeous printables to your life. I mean, look at that. Did you really think that we could start with this? This is the thing. This is what we started with. Remember the full-size printable? We started with this. Okay, this is what we started with. And look at what we ended up with. I mean, this is amazing. And it is beautiful. I mean, it is gorgeous. You could put this on a mantle. You could put it in a tray. You could put it in a lantern. You could put it in the bathroom, like on a small bathroom tray. Any questions that I missed? If you've got a question, drop it in the comments. Hi, Cassie. Good to see you. Rayma's in the club. Bella loves it. Lori loves it. Debbie's met me from Canvas Sign Designs. It's my friend Jennifer. Yeah, I'm in the group now. Did you know that, Debbie? I don't know if you're inner sign makers, but I am an actual sign maker. Okay. So check it out. The link is up in the description. Pat asked what I used on the last layer. Good. We did have some questions. I'm glad I stayed around for it. I used, I think this is what you're asking, Dura Clear Matte Varnish. They make it in a lot of different finishes. Ultra matte is going to look like you put nothing on there. It's going to be sealed, but it's going to look like you put nothing on there. If I'm going for like super farmhouse, right? Like ultra, but like this has ultra matte on it. See, there's no shine. But for something like this, this is matte. There's still a bit of a sheen, just enough to make it look like you bought it from the store. Okay. Looks like it was perfect. Look at this. It looks professional. I mean, you can do this. I promise you can go get the paint, the printable, the DuraClear, some sponges, Mod Podge, everything we used, and you can do this, and it's going to look just as fabulous. There's nothing secret that I did here. It's all, I mean, I showed you exactly how to do it. And anyone, if you follow those steps, you can replicate it. It's going to look exactly the same. So let's turn this off. Let me take the overhead camera off. Okay, we have 4 minutes. So yes, this is, and look how cute this is. It looks very cute on there. The ribbon is adorable. The perfect ribbon. Let me hold it up close for you guys. So this is what we made. I started with, this was the teapot, the blue and the pink. Someone, Pat wants to see, you guys want to screenshot Duraclear and matte varnish. Marla, the stand, I made the stand. It's in my shop, shopwoodcutouts.com. This stand is about 12.5 inches. I have a bigger one back there, but I have no sign on it. I'm between you guys. Don't judge me by my St. Patrick's Day and Easter that's still up. The gnome tray will go up there as soon as I finish it. So do we have any questions? We have about 3 minutes, you guys. Let's do the fun stuff. Let's pick some names. You guys, I really appreciate you being here and spending time with me. And showing up to craft with everyone. Okay, I'm going to go here. Where did you get the blue and white tumbler? That was from Amazon. Shoot me a DM. I can send you a link. Cute little stand. The stand came from my shop. I made it. It's a wood cutout. You can grab them in my shop, shopwoodcutouts.com or amyandart.com. It's super cute. Easy to assemble. I actually painted it with Duraclear. The wood stands are so versatile. They're so versatile. All right. So let me go here. Okay. We are going to pick. Okay. I'm going to put a disclaimer. If your name gets picked twice, you can only get picked once. I didn't check the little box. It said only let you get picked once. You get picked once. So if your name gets picked twice, we got to, we're going to pick someone else. We're going to share. Ready? Here we go. Friend number 1 is Margarita. Okay, your name is going to go to Denise. Okay, 3 people will go to Denise. Okay. Ready? We're going to pick again. Here we go. Friend number 2. So exciting. I love this little tool. This has been so much fun for me. Like it just takes the pressure off. Oh, Elizabeth. Woo! Okay, Elizabeth. All right, girl. Here we go. Friend number 3. Who's it going to be? Fingers crossed for all of you. I just love these gift. I mean, it's just so much fun. So at the end, Kathleen, okay, at the end, Denise is taking all of the friends that their names got drawn. So you need to go at the end and she's going to do her own gift away. So like I said, thank you guys for being here. Go join the Craftable Club and make cute stuff like this. The Digital Print Club. It's called the Digital Print Clubhouse. Go join the Digital Print Clubhouse. Make cute stuff like this with Denise. Miss Tracy is up next. So y'all, I'm Amy Green with Amy and Art Designs. Thank you for coming to the Craftable party today. And keep crafting and sharing the beautiful things that you make because the world needs your creativity. I love y'all and I will see you next time.